So what happened? Joining me now is the man whose firm Politico says, quote, may well end up being among the most accurate in their final pre-election predictions. James Johnson, co-founder of political polling firm JL Partners. On Election Day, they had Trump at a 54.1% chance of winning, projecting him to win the Electoral College 287 to 251. They also predicted that he would win the popular vote, which it seems he is on track to do as well. James, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so how did you get it more right than most of the pollsters?
Yeah, so I think the big thing that we did is that we didn't use a single method approach in our polls. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of polls, like that Ann Seltzer Iowa poll you spoke there, just do phone polling. Now, statistically, that is more likely to pick up people who've got time and the inclination to spend 15 minutes having a chat with a pollster. Now, statistically, that tends to be older, white, liberal women. And you can see that the Ann Seltzer poll picked up more of those than perhaps were in the Iowa electorate as a whole. Or online-only polls. Now, online-only polls, they tend to overrepresent younger, more engaged, and people who tend to work from home more. Now, all of those three groups have one thing in common. They're more likely to be Democrats. So we think we did a better job at picking up that elusive Trump voter. We use a blend of methods. We use calls, we use online, we use SMS to web polling, so texting people from the voter file, and we also use something called in-app game polling. Now, what do I mean by that? If someone's playing a game on their phone, they get a notification, do you want to win 50,000 in-game points? Complete this short survey.
I was going to say, how do you get them to do it? You just answered the question.
Yeah, there's a bit of an incentive,
yeah.
But that gets them engaged. And they're people who, they're not sitting down answering polls all the time. That's the thing. This Trump voter that's hard to reach, they're busy. They're blue-collar workers. They're working full days. They haven't got time to sit around and bleat to a pollster for 20 minutes. And we pick them up as they go about their normal life using that game polling. The group that's most likely to pick up, younger, non-white men, a key group that swung to Trump.
Yeah. And so what do you think that, on the whole, that the best polls got wrong? Meaning, the best of the polls would tell you, we don't just do phone. Of course not anymore. We do online and we do phone. We would never just do one or the other, right? The best pollsters would tell you that. But they seem to have still gotten it quite wrong. Why?
So I think the big thing there is that some of them have waited to correct their data. So they've weighted some of their data down from what it was just when they received it raw. The best example of this is the percentage of non-voters we had in the sample. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean people who didn't vote in 2016, didn't vote in 2020, but were telling us and other pollsters they were going to vote. Now, a lot of pollsters said, whoa, we're getting way too many of these. Let's scale that down. We won't have that many people voting. We had 17% at the end. I have to say, when I published our final poll, which had Trump 3 points ahead in the popular vote, I thought, goodness gracious me, this is not going to be... we've got a lot of non-voters in here. But we knew from our interviews and travelling around the country, I've spent the last 2 months myself travelling around the swing states talking to voters, we knew that that voter existed, we knew that they were out there, and we knew they were particularly in rural counties. So we didn't get buffeted by the winds. We didn't see the Seltzer poll and go, oh, we better weight those down. We kept them in, and we think that was the most accurate result. We got led by the data rather than suppositions going around on Twitter.
And when you were in the battleground states, I assume when you started speaking to them, they realized that you were one of them, that you were from a battleground state. I'm joking. James Johnson, thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.